Michigan has been a hotbed of questions surrounding the 2020 elections. Dozens of poll challengers are coming forward to discuss what they believe to be fraudulent activity that supported Joe Biden. Bob Cushman is a Michigan voter and volunteered during the 2020 election, and One America's Christina Bobb sat down with Cushman to learn what he witnessed in November 2020.
Bob Cushman, you were an election challenger here in Detroit. I know you saw a few things that piqued your interest. What did you see?
We heard and saw videos and whatnot that there was, based on estimates, anywhere from 16 to 60,000 ballots that were dropped off at 3:30 a.m. I was probably down on the floor by about 7:30 in the morning. And the one thing that, after looking at 3, 4, 5 different boards, I noticed that just struck me as odd, and it just really stood out, was the fact that none of the names on the ballots that were being processed were in the electronic poll book. But they were all on these sheets called the supplemental sheets. Now, in theory, what these supplemental sheets are indications or lists of people who have registered to vote on Monday or Tuesday of election week, because they updated the electronic poll books on Sunday, November 1st. So supposedly they were all up to date as of Sunday. And I found it just totally incredulous to believe, I just couldn't believe, that there was 30, 40, 50, 60,000 brand new voters. I don't think it was possible. I don't think it was physically possible, and I don't think it happened. So, but first I should say, I went to several boards. I believe it was at least 3, and it might have been more, before I wanted to make sure that I wasn't seeing just a unique exception. And then I thought, I need to be scientific. So what I did is, and I'm going to refer to my notes so I can remember the times, went to one board, and I started at 7:52, and I started counting the ballots, and I noticed that by 8:18 there were 63 ballots. So the space of about 26 minutes, there were 63 ballots. Not a one, and I'm not exaggerating, not a one ballot had the name that was in the poll book, but they were all on the supplemental sheets. So obviously I thought that was phony. And what happened after that was that I started writing down the name as quickly as I could, the names and the address if possible, and the date of the signature. And what I noticed, I only got about 5 or 6 names down before no less than what I believe are 5 Democrat operatives began to obstruct me from writing down the names. In my mind, what I think happened was that these were falsified ballots. They'd been held off until the Biden people had done the counting to see how many more votes they needed. Michigan law that shows that there's a law that says that it's a felony. It is a felony to obstruct an election challenger in his duty. In no court cases, especially that I've been, has anyone looked at the evidence. They've thrown cases out for reasons that I think are wrong.
Right.
But they failed to look at the evidence.
Right. Well, sir, thank you so much for your time and for telling us your story.
My pleasure.
Want to see more videos like this? Visit OAN.com for immediate access to all the clips you've been waiting to see.